Alice, this is yet another twist in a very difficult situation for the family. How did this latest twist and turn come about?
Hi there. Well, I mean, absolutely. This is completely uncharted legal territory. Two judges in the High Court have ruled so far in favour of the hospital that Archie Battersbee's life support machine should be switched off. An application to the Court of Appeal that was initially rejected, and a judge ruled that doctors could lawfully remove the ventilator. The Supreme Court refused to intervene, but last Friday the family made very much a sort of last-ditch attempt to the United Nations, to the Committee for the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. They considered this over the weekend, and they in turn have released this injunction saying that the life support machine that Archie Battersbee is dependent on should not be switched off at 2 p.m. today whilst they consider the case. Whilst that was going on, Holly Dance, the mother of Archie Battersbee, she wrote to the Health Secretary urging him to consider the case whilst the UN are looking at that, and that's very much what the government did in the very late hours of last night that this all sort of transpired. And as of this morning, because of the government intervention there, because of the UN there, I mean, it's interesting because on its own, the UN, the decision that they've made with this injunction, it's not necessarily sort of legally binding on its own, but because it is the UN, we do share conventions with them when it comes to the rights of people with disabilities. And I think that's partly why the government have intervened, and that's why the hearing will be heard at the Court of Appeal today in a journey, as you were just saying, that has had so many twists and turns along the way, which has been obviously very difficult for many people involved.
Of course, I mean, understatement really there. I mean, just imagine being Holly Dance or any of the family waking up this morning thinking today is the day that we're turning off that life support machine, and then being told that there might be some hope. Incredibly difficult emotions to battle. Have they had anything to say in the last few hours about all of this?
Yes, Holly Dance has been speaking outside the hospital today, and it's just, I mean, I just get the impression for her, she is just absolutely worn down by this legal process that has been going on for months and months, and very much coming at it from the point of view as a Christian, that she wants her son to die, which she's always said in a way that is natural, i.e. not done in a way that the ventilator will be switched off. I mean, I've seen the letter that was sent to the family from the hospital, and it was very much a sort of bullet point looking at the way in which the ventilator would be switched off, the time in which medication would stop being applied to their son. And I think that was exactly the nature that the family did not want. They've always maintained they wanted him to die in a way that is, quote, natural and peaceful. But of course, the hospital very much say, well, actually, the current state that he's in, he's malnourished, he's having lots of digestive problems, that they're saying that actually this is not in Archie's best interest. And I think the words of Mr. Justice Hayden, who was the second High Court judge who was looking over this, he said he was concerned that the ongoing treatment was prolonging his death rather than protracting his life. And I think those were words that really stuck in my mind there. So an incredibly difficult situation, and it's very much down to the wire, because as it stands at 2 o'clock this afternoon, Archie Battersbee's life support machine will be switched off unless the Court of Appeal make any sort of decision about that this morning.
As you're indicating, the legal concern is that the child's interests come first, but I'm just looking at the sort of the clock ticking on this. We've got this hearing due to start at 11, what they call a virtual hearing, but the hospital trust saying 2 o'clock is the time when the decision has to be made.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, both the Hospital Trust and the Hospital's Guardian have always argued that it should be as soon as possible, and this shouldn't be delayed in this process. And I think that's something that the family have very much struggled and grappled with from the beginning. I mean, it's only April when this accident took place, and while we have been covering this quite extensively on GBNews, I think it is important to stress for the family this has been a process that has happened in a very, very short space of time. I mean, they only made, from their point of view, the application to the UN on Friday. We're now here at Monday morning, having had the letter saying that at 2 o'clock this afternoon that the life support machine will be switched off. There's a legal stay until 1 o'clock because of this injunction from the UN. So it's all very much down to the wire for everybody involved.